He's trying to eat it all. Then he picks it up with his tongue and his teeth.
Toddlers do not need to be miserable little hellions. I've seen this phenomenon with a lot of kids. This is the observation that I've made. I've seen really good kids and I've seen really bad kids. And when I say really bad kids, I mean those type of kids that you just don't want to be around because they break things, they are whiny, they're spoiled brats, they scream, and I get it. All kids go through these stages. But here's an idea. What if there's a reason why these kids are this way? Man, it's hard to talk to a camera. There's a whole different way for toddlers to live, and I'm talking about beginning at the age of 2, 3, and especially 4 years old. In this time period, it's really possible for kids to be awesome, to be looking out for other kids, to be doing things that as parents you really like, to be building into your family culture in a way that's really positive and not just a total drain on your life. But there's something that we have to do in order to make this happen. I think it's possible to actually like your toddlers, not just because you're one of those Facebook parents that's like, my kid is the cutest, but because your kid is actually likable. This morning I was at the auto shop and I saw Felia, my 4-year-old. She saw these pop tabs on the floor and she said, I want to get those for my brother 7. And she got them because she knows that he collects them. And I thought, man, that's incredible that my 4-year-old is thinking about another human being. A lot of times when I go to the mall and I see screaming 4-year-olds, I thought that's just how 4-year-olds are. But it made me realize something about my child and I want to share it with you guys. This is the amount of energy your kids have. Every kid has a set amount of energy that they could expend. What parents have their kids spend their energy is on making decisions. And these decisions, they're over silly things like, is it time to leave the playground? Or what should we eat? I've seen parents argue with their 3-year-old for 10 minutes about whether they should have a bagel or breakfast cereal with cream cheese or peanut butter or jelly. This could be what to wear, nap time. Literally, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of tiny decisions that are made every single day about scheduling and just general preferences. Now, the way I want to look at this is if every kid has a certain amount of energy, bandwidth to make decisions, every one of these decisions takes quite a bit of energy. And we could put a certain number of chips on each of these to show how much energy these decisions all use. And what you have is no decisions, no energy left for other decisions. Now, I have another idea. Really cool if we use our imaginations as a parent, the things that we really want from our child. I want my kid to have good relationships, primarily with me, but also with other kids and people. I also want my kid to have high creativity. I also want my kid to be able to help the world and make it a better place. So I want them to be unselfish or thinking about others. This one basically means my kid realizes they're not the center of the universe. And that's pretty much it. I would say also I want my kids to have high character. I want them to be honest and not lazy. But can we just say if our kids have these things, it'll be much better than if they don't. Our kids, they spend all their energy on these things. They make all these decisions because parents give these kids these decisions to their kids because they feel guilty if they don't. But what I've noticed is when parents make these decisions for their kids, by teaching them things like obedience, by being honest, by setting clear boundaries, by being what some people call strict, then it's amazing. They actually begin to have more energy for some of these things. When kids don't have to wonder what it is that they're gonna eat or when they're gonna leave, when they're just told these things. And these things I would phrase, there's a dump truck outside, that's pretty loud. This right here is all culture. The problem is in our culture that we believe that every single person has the right to create their own new culture, and every kid has their right to create their own culture. This is not good for any human, especially young ones. Do not feel guilty. Do not feel guilty for creating culture for your children. It will actually give them the ability to focus on the things that matter the most to you and the things that in the long run will matter the most to them. Some people might ask, are you saying kids don't have the right to make any decisions? That's not what I'm saying. The older you get, the more you should be creating culture, but you do not want a 3-year-old determining a culture for an entire household. And that's what happens when you let 3-year-olds decide, hey, what should we eat for dinner tonight?